This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Da 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 da, shabba da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da dee da do da da da, shabba da dee da da da, shabba da be da do da da da, shabba da be da da da, yeah, shabba dee da, Tobias good.
KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, proudly presents Women in Business with your host, Chef Tobias Cooks.
Hello. Good morning. 209 Central Valley. How is everyone doing? How is your week coming along? We are here with the Voice of Stockton.org with Chef Tobias Cooks. We are talking women in business today. Yes, I am so excited. Minus the heat, right?
Right, it's absolutely hot outside.
Minus the heat, yes. But other than that, we are here. We are ready to talk. I am excited about this conversation that we are about to have, women in business, here with the Voice of Stockton with Chef Tobias Cooks. You can find me on Chef Tobias Cooks Facebook page, Instagram page, YouTube page, along that you can watch this live with us. Please join us at thevoiceofstockton.org. on Facebook, YouTube. All right, so let's get into it right now. My very first guest, women in business here in the Central Valley. Introduce yourself.
I am Katrina Major, and I am with Carrington Real Estate Services. I'm a realtor, and I'm here to service.
Can you hear?
Our client. I can't hear.
It's live, It's live, y'all.
Yes, I believe I can hear you. I can hear you fairly.
All right, you got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you still hear?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So I am with Carrington Real Estate Services, and it is my goal to assist everyone as being a first-time home buyer.
How can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook at KM1 Real Estate, and then also on Twitter at KMajor39991.
All right. Is this
loose.
good for you?
Mm-hmm, it's loose. That's better.
All right.
Okay, so
go ahead, get comfortable. Okay, thank you for coming on, Katrina.
Thank
I appreciate
you for inviting me.
Yes, so everyone, you can follow Katrina on her Facebook page along with her Twitter page, and you can check out her businesses and what she does and the services she's offered as well. But today, I invited her to come here to talk about something that's a little bit different because the show is about women in business. The base of the show is to give encouragement to women in business, the struggles that we go through and the different things that goes on. All right, so Miss Katrina, you are originally from?
I'm originally from San Francisco, born and raised. Was raised over in Daly City. Then my mom decided to move us to San Jose. Yes. Once I had graduated from high school, of course, I wanted to be back in San Francisco. So moved to San Francisco, back to San Francisco, got married, had my children, and then divorced. After
and
my
your children's name? We got to mention the kids. We have to mention the kids.
My children's name are Lorenzo Kale Jr., Nathaniel Kale, and Lucretia Kale.
And you have to mention your mom's name as well.
My mom's name is Alpha Mathis. She has passed away.
Yes.
She passed away in 2009. But of course, she left a great imprint from her.
All right. See, it's always important. We have to recognize and shout out to our family.
Yes.
So you moved back to San Francisco at that point?
Yeah, I moved back to San Francisco after graduating. I should have went to college, but of course, not liking San Jose and what it had to offer, I decided to go back to San Francisco. So I wanted to actually be what we call in the streets, you know, because my family is from Hunters Point, the project. So even though my mom raised us, bought a house in Daly City, my grandmother actually took care of us while they worked, which was in the project. So I thought I was missing something, you know. I thought they had more privileges than I did, not realizing that the structure that I was getting was the best thing for me, right? So I thought I was missing something. So I wanted to be in the mix. So when I had the opportunity after graduating, instead of going to college, I decided to go back to San Francisco. Ended up getting married and having my 3 children in my 6-year marriage. And then from there, decided to take my children back to San Jose. Met my second husband, and of course he helped me raise my children. And then we moved here to Stockton in '99 for affordability, because of the fact is that we wanted something nice compared to what is being offered for the price range in the Bay Area. Right? So we made that sacrifice to come out this way so that we could give our children a better life.
I understand. So I grew up partly in Oakland as well, right next door to San Francisco.
Absolutely.
I used to ride my bikes over to San Francisco.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, girl,
Oh, yes,
you was doing some
honey.
things.
Yes, that's how I discovered the cannoli. Yes. I used to get in trouble all the time. I used to ride my bike from 35th and MacArthur to Alameda.
Ooh,
Remember High Street? You go
High
on
Street
the bridge,
and
High
the bridge
Street.
into the Alameda.
And then we used to ride it downtown West Oakland, and we would get on the bridge. This is when you could get on the bridge,
right?
Because back then, and we used to ride our bikes across the bridge. And then sometimes, depending on if we had the strength, we'll cut down to the pier. We'll ride along the pier, and then we'll jump on to the Golden Gate Bridge,
and then
and
we'll
end over in Sausalita. And then sometimes we'll sit there and wonder how we was gonna get back home.
Okay, because you were doing a lot. But you know, back in those days,
and this was like 10 and 12 years old doing this.
I understand.
On the bike.
Yes, I do. I had started because I was considered to be a latchkey when my parents divorced, right? So my mom had to teach me at the age of 6 to catch the bus from Daly City to San Francisco to get to my grandmother's house, right? So I do understand. And then, you know, times were different than they are now. So we could go out and explore and not have a problem, long as we got home at a specific time. So exactly what you're saying, you know, we would go down to the pier, we go out to the Golden Gate Park, we would walk over and we would walk over and go across the bridge over into Sausalito. We do all those things, and that's like you said, we try to figure out how we get back. But
you figure out how you get back. So that's interesting. You and I'm sure that your grandmother was from
She's from San Francisco.
She was from San Francisco.
Well, actually, we're from Jacksonville, Florida.
See, that's what I'm trying to get to.
We're from Jacksonville,
I could
Florida.
pick up a little bit of that southern,
but you know what?
Southern influence.
Everyone has always told me that I had an accent, you know, and they said it most likely it sounded from New York, which my mother and my grandmother were staying in New York. That's where my grandmother got my mother.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know. And I hadn't even met them until later on in life. So
so it was that whole vibe that, great. Okay, absolutely. So you did mention, I want to go back to when you were saying that instead of going to college, the street life was calling.
Oh, yeah.
And if those of you don't know about the street life, Roberta Flack, as women, a lot of us, we do have children, we get married, we kind of get distracted a little bit.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about that particular era in your life?
That was an experience, let's put it like that. You know, when I was growing up in San Francisco, by me living in Daly City, I was always told that I didn't belong being in the projects in Hunters Point because they said I sounded too proper. You know, I was didn't need to be there because they felt that I was rich. Well, I wasn't rich. My mother was just working and decided to come out of the projects to make a better life for us.
Yes.
You know, and I couldn't understand that. But the things that I had seen, I wanted to be a part of because I felt that they were able to do anything that they wanted to do. They were, it just seemed like it was the life, you know. It wasn't until I got into the life that I really realized what I was into.
Yes.
Right? And I think that being protected, a lot of times we don't understand until we either experience it, you know. So by me wanting to fit in and be a part of, ended me down that road of what we could say destruction.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And I didn't realize, and thank God it only took a few years, and that was, you know, getting married, children, and then divorce. Realizing that now I have my children to think about, and it's not just me.
Yes.
Right? So I had to do a few things, and I had to straighten up a few things in order to be a good mom to my children. And I made the decision at that point, too, as well, to leave, you know, and I moved back down to San Jose with my children.
Yes.
But you're talking about I went through that whole spree of drugs and, you know, just being a part of the streets. So I am grateful, you know, that I am here today and I am an example, but that's why I do partly what I do.
Yes. And I think that that adds to our characters, who we are, especially being survivors.
Absolutely.
People don't understand unless you live that life that when you're able to make it over consciously,
and it's a conscious one.
Yes, as especially as women, having children, being married, going through those things such as divorce, and then realizing, hey, we have to survive for our kids. A lot of times as women, it puts us in situations where we have to do what we have to do.
Absolutely.
To take care of our kids.
Absolutely.
But the great thing about it, and what I love so much about your story, is not only that you're a survivor, but you're an overcomer.
I think so. You know, I never thought about it that way. It was,
but you are
something. Yes,
you are
absolutely.
You are,
and you're very. That I just
your story is
forward.
very inspirational as well. Yes.
Thank you very much. And I used to never really tell my story, you know, until people started to ask me about my background. You know, then when I started telling my story, I found out that it was helpful to other women. So, and what we go through throughout in life. So I just started to only tell it when it really is needed.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of times we women decide that no one understands us. That was the biggest thing, you know? No one understands us. And I feel that unless we speak about it, no one ever knows, right? So I started to make a point of talking to women to let them know that I'm feeling and I know what they're going through because I've been through it. If I haven't been through it, then we have someone that has been through it, right? So, and I think that, you know, that's where the empathy opposed to sympathy. You know, empathy is because you haven't gone through it, but sympathy is when you have gone through it, right? So no one can ever understand no one's situation unless you walk through their shoes.
Yes.
That's the biggest one for me.
Yes. And I think it's also important with your story is that, like me, because I know you, when I see you today and I see the classiness about you, I see the elegance about you, I see how you carry yourself, I see how you have the mother and the nurturing spirit, and I see how you nurture other women and how you take care of them and how you take time to speak with them. So for me personally, I said, wow, for her to now be at this position in her life where she's a businesswoman, you're an entrepreneur, you're running your own business, and you have great influence on the community. I'm like, wow, I have to get this story. This is a story that people need to understand, because a lot of times us women, we do get to the place where we don't think that we're as valued as much. So for you making that point, what was it like then making that transition to, hey, I can become an entrepreneur. I could do these things as well.
Well, it started off as a dream. You know how, and I'm a firm believer in dreaming. I think a lot of people feel that dreaming is irrelevant, but it's not. In order to achieve some of the goals that we want to, starts off with a dream. Things that we see ourselves or want to see ourselves to be. be like, right? And so, but it also takes a plan. You know, a lot of times, you know, everyone wants something instantaneously. It doesn't happen that way. And it takes work.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's the biggest one that a lot of people are not willing to do.
Where's my ice water?
Okay, so, but it really does. It takes work in order to get where you want to be. And also, I've been told that I see things in color. You know, I see things because I want to see the goodness in everyone.
Yes.
Right? So I don't care where you at, where you've been, because I feel that there should be no judgment. If I was judged when I was doing what I was doing, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have had the people to help me be able to achieve where I'm at today. So that is part of my give back, because people put into me. So I want to put into other people to let you know that everything is possible. That was one thing that my mother ever told me, was everything is possible. You just have to figure it out, right? And you have to be willing to work at it for whatever it is. But as long as you have dreams and you keep on dreaming, those dreams will come true.
Yes.
As long as you work toward them.
All right. So we're excited to be here with you in the Central Valley.
I'm excited to be with you too.
You came in 99. I came in 2003.
Yes.
Yes. And even though we're going through this extremely hot wave, I still love Stockton. I still like driving on the open road.
Well, you know, for me, it took a while. It took a while. Yes. You know, I did everything out of Stockton, you know, and I had to realize that, you know, this is my community.
Yes.
I've had things that have happened in the last 10 years that have made me to re-look at me.
Yes.
As an individual, and to change some things. And one of those things is that my community is here. So I need to be a part of it, involved, and let people experience me and what I have to offer to them.
Yes, I love it. All right. And so some of the things you've done I've been to your workshop at the NWACP. Like, could you tell us a little bit about that and your work with them?
Let's go back some, because when I first decided, I went through a lot of trials and tribulations. So back in 2014, I decided that I was going to pursue my business that had been sitting there for over 10 years. And that's what we talk about, a dream. You know, my dream was to be independent as a realtor and also as a motivational speaker to inspire women. And so that never flourished. You know, when I started in real estate and new home sales, you know, I was making so much money, I didn't think about it. You know, when the market crashed, I had to go get a job. So that made me have to go back to the Bay Area to work. And I acquired a job through a company that was contracted with HUD, which is Housing Urban Development. So I was a compliance officer for Section 8 properties. Okay. So I would go in to make sure that, you know, individuals living in decent and sanitary conditions, you know, that they weren't being overcharged in their rents and things like that nature. And then I would have to write a report to the government. Did that for about 6 years. So I traveled between the Bay Area and Sacramento up to the Oregon border. So, of course, you know, I've had a couple of incidents, you know, whereas I flipped my truck off of I-5 and, you know, that makes you relook at things.
I had an accident on I-5 as well. And it was it's not the good thing, because we're over to the curve and you responsible for thousands of people going slow, and I had people flipping me off, and one lady threw a cup of coffee at me. It was
No, I flipped my truck up off of I-5 and took two other vehicles with me. See, so mine was a life-changing where I was lucky to be here. And so with that, again, that was a change. You know, something that made me look at my life. You know, and became that a lot of things that, you know, that are not important are not important. Right. So I just started to change in the way that I seen things. And from that, and with a lot of other personal things that were going on, you're talking about somebody being broken. I was broken. And a lot of times women, because we have so many roles to play, that we are not knowing when our breaking point is until it happens. But then it's too late. So that's what happened to me, and I had to start picking up the pieces, right? And that was when I decided that it was time for me to start doing in my own community and to help. And I had to go and I spoke to a woman, and it was two things that after that accident had happened and a change in my life. And I had asked God to help me to be able to go to my next level, and then also to have someone or a woman to help me to be able to make these things possible that could understand. And there was no one here. My mom passed away in 2009. I really didn't have close friends that could understand, because sometimes your friends that are close to you don't understand what you're going through. So even though they think that they're being supportive, they're not.
Yes.
Right?
They can only do what they can do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I had started, searching the internet or the web or whatever you want to call this, Facebook. And I started looking at groups.
I call it social dimension.
Okay. So I started looking, for women's groups. And I came across this group called Wealthy Sisters Network. And I listened to her for a while, but she was talking to me. You know how sometimes, how when you go to church and you swear that the pastor is talking to you about what he's saying? That was the same thing that she was doing. Yes. So I finally reached out to her and told her where I was at, what was going on with me, and she helped me. I actually went to Texas to meet her, and became a part of that group. And actually, I brought that group here because it helped me so much. So I wanted to be able to give back. I've always been a person of giving back something that, especially that has helped me.
Yes.
So, and I felt that, a lot of women do not address our issues, unless someone else bring it up. So why not bring those subjects and topics up that affect us, right? Without any judgment, because that's the biggest one. We're afraid to say or do anything because of judgment of others.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I wanted women to be comfortable, to be able to come in and see what we had to offer. And then also I had vendors if you wanted to be business, that were entrepreneurs, right? So if you wanted to know how to be able to go about doing that. So it went very well, and I loved it.
Yes.
That went on for a while, and I stopped that, but that didn't stop me from doing my trainings that I did. So that's how you met me at the NAACP, because they wanted me to come in and speak on how money works, which I talk about a lot of things that affect us, as a community, to be able to get those things that you want, but to go about it. Sometimes you need to plan, and a lot of times we don't know how to.
Exactly.
Right? So this is the things that I talk about to help us, especially women.
Yes, especially our topic is women in business, but this is very, very important as women to know. So there we go. Some great things that you just talked on. It's a great conversation. I advise you to please go back and replay it, listen to it again. Katrina just gave us a lot of great information as far as how to plan, how to first seek yourself.
Well, that's one thing that you
see
gotta
yourself.
do. See yourself.
And then you can move forward.
Absolutely.
With
I
your
always say be true to you.
Yes.
Be true to understand who you are. Once you do that and decide on what it is that you want for yourself, then you have to set a plan, about how to go about getting it.
I love it.
Thank
I was
you.
waiting for you to finish. I think we got some free therapy, huh? Keep going. Look, I was on the couch. You stopped in mid-sentence.
Well, that is what it is, and I just enjoy inspiring other women. We all have our own stories to tell.
Yes.
But how do you tell your story if you're not willing to say anything?
That's right.
And there's women out here that are looking for the assistance of other women.
Yes.
And it not to be wanting something from it. It is to inspire, empower, and encourage.
Yes.
So those are my 3 E's.
Say it again.
Actually,
No.
it's not an E, but
well, I can be an E. Pop in.
But it is, what did I say? Inspire,
Yes.
encourage, and what was the third one?
Inspire, empower.
Empower.
Look,
Right.
look,
He's
Amber,
already
listen.
into it too. Well, I like
Amber,
that.
tell
I'm
us
al-
what you learned.
I'm always open to a good little lectures and whatnot.
Yes.
I'm just listening.
And you know
Yes.
what? It's not just for women. We're talking about women in
Yes.
business, right? But it is for men as well. And sometimes men says, well, what about us?
Yeah.
But it does apply.
What about you?
I know. We're here for you too.
It depends.
But
After 4 o'clock.
we're focusing on women today.
Yes, we are.
Right. But it is great information, and that is the biggest thing that I had pride myself in, is being that resource person.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times where we make our mistakes are not getting that full information that we need to make better decisions. Right.
That's
So
a good one.
with
That's a good
that
one.
being said, that was why I went and got my degree in criminal justice.
Hey.
So that from where I come from,
Yes.
and
it's
my
funny-
family members, I didn't
Yes.
want to be told, and things had happened, whereas they want to tell you anything. Well, anybody can say anything, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's true.
Yes.
Right? So it is important that you do know a little something in order to navigate your way through what's
Absolutely.
going on in our life and society today.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that is why I have paralegal degree behind me as well. So I just haven't, well, I put it like this. I work it into my business with my clients and everything of that nature, but ultimately I am seeking my law degree in real estate law.
It's a specialty.
Yes.
And we all have to have our special niche.
Absolutely.
And that's what I always encourage women. Don't be like the woman next to you. Be yourself. You can draw upon inspiration.
That's right.
You can sit at the feet of women and get mentorship, but it's always important to be authentic to yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I went through that time period of pleasing everybody. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted everybody to see my way, that my goodness in my heart is just for you. But I found out that not everybody's like that.
No.
And not everybody wants to hear or see that.
No.
You know what? So, I just learned that to be me. I've always said that. Everybody should be them. You should be able to, if they're going to like you, they're going to like you. They're going to like you for whoever you is. So my motto is either you're going to like me or you're not.
Yes.
There's no in-betweens
There's
between
no
that,
in-betweens.
right?
Yeah.
Either you're going to like me or not. And I'm okay with that now. But you have to be comfortable within yourself. And that is the biggest one. And a lot of times today with today's society, we're not comfortable. We want to be like the next person or do this or do that. But if you be you and be authentic, guess what? You will be true to the game, as we call it in the streets.
Yes.
Right?
And your business will shine.
Yes.
It will
Absolutely.
shine because then you gave it a platform
Absolutely.
to shine on.
Absolutely.
And that's the key to it. And often a lot of people always ask me about that as well because, I've been through some serious. I've been through some serious challenges, over the past year. But my thing is, that's my platform. And
Absolutely.
as long as I have my own platform, then I'm able to shine on that
Your platform.
Yes.
And nobody can take that away from you.
Yes.
That is something that I always state and encourage to a lot of people, is that what is meant for you is meant for you. What is meant for me is meant for me. So there's nothing that you could do that can take away what's meant for me. There's nothing that I could do that's meant for you that I could take away. So we need to, as women, be encouraging to one another, knowing this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I'm excited. I'm excited.
All this makes
Yeah,
sense.
we gotta wrap up. This is not fair, huh? Yes. So I just want to touch on this real briefly. You are going to go back to pursue your law degree in real estate.
Right.
That's a niche.
That is a niche.
I love it. That's a niche.
My niche in real estate is basically to help and educate, right? To let you know that everything is possible. So home ownership for our dreams to come true on that. And a lot of people would like to have their own piece of their pie.
Yeah.
Right?
And people that want some more.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right.
I just came back from Kabul and they
Uh-oh, she gotta
recruited
sneak
me.
that in
I did
there.
have to record that
She
because
had to sneak
they
that in there. I
recruited
was
me
waiting
for
for
those
that.
who were looking for
Yes.
second homes or vacation homes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whatever. Let's talk about the trip. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's cool. Cabo. Let's talk about Cabo. real
Cabo.
quick
You
before
know what,
we
Cabo?
leave.
I've been going to
Yes.
Cabo for over 10 years.
Yeah, because you lit up. You lit up like the whole ambiance changed.
It was, you know, it's that vacation time.
Yes,
you know,
let's talk about that little snippet. Just a little snippet.
Regroup.
Yes.
You know, that's my regroup and you know, to
So
get
you
it
went
all
to
together.
Cabo.
I went to Cabo. I go to Cabo every other year. That is
Wow.
absolutely. And then this year for my daughter's 30th birthday, we're going to London. Okay, that is
I'm
where
jealous.
she's a historian major.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you know, historical. Because I'm a historical romance
Yes,
reader.
yes.
You know, I've learned everything about that. But she, by her being in school and college for that, so that's where she wants to go. So we're gonna go out and celebrate her birthday in London.
That's going to be awesome.
It is gonna be awesome.
I am so excited. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for asking
All right,
me.
yes. So we have something coming up special in August.
Yes, we are. What date is that?
I know.
August?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I don't have my phone. Oh, my phone is right here.
It's August 21st.
Right, August 21st.
Yes.
We're going to have Mika Coleman come in and talk about for women in business who want to get business credit.
Yes.
It is so important for any credit, whether you're buying real estate, you know, you want to get credit cards, you want to get credit for your business. It's always great to know the information that's going to help you be able to achieve those
They
goals
have
and
to
dreams.
come for
You
that
do.
seminar.
You guys
We're not
do
going to give
definitely
that
have to
away.
come.
We're not
You
going
know?
to give that away at all.
It's
So
a lot of information.
It's a
and
lot
you're
of
gonna love it.
information. Just know that I myself went through the process of what Miss Coleman has offered as well. So you have to come to that. It's August 21st. Go to your Facebook page. Give me your Facebook page.
My
again.
Facebook page is KM1 Real Estate, and I will be posting when she's going to be available and the location.
All right. So you heard it there for yourself. So you dropped a lot of wisdom.
Thank you.
But is there any quick tip, like one thing you would say to a woman that's sitting there that's saying, hey, look, I was out in the streets before. I had to do what I had to do, take care of my kids. Now I'm at the next level where I'm ready to go into entrepreneurship. I'm ready to go into that job. I'm ready to go into that college. What is the advice that you would give them right now?
Be persistent. That's the biggest one. Be persistent in everything that you want. If all of these things that you're saying that you want, be persistent. You're going to fall down. Everything is not going to always be is going to go the way that you want it to go. Just like you heard Chef Tobias say that this year has been a struggle for her, right? But she's never gave up. So that's the biggest one is be persistent. Don't give up. When you feel that everything is not going to go, that's just saying that the door is getting ready to open for you. So same thing, you know, I can say the same thing that I've gone through, but I still get up. That's the big one. Keep on getting up, keep on moving forward, and your dreams will come true.
All right. Okay. Did we pass the collection plate?
I know. Huh? Absolutely.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
You're
much
welcome,
for coming on.
baby.
Thank you. I
I'm glad
appreciate
that you asked me.
All right. Chef Tobias Cooks here with Women in Business Conversation. If you like this conversation, go ahead and log on to thevoiceofstockton.org. The live will be up right after this. You can replay it again. Please go to Miss Katrina page. Look up her business. Also look up the workshop that's coming up August 21st for business credit, and it's for women, but we haven't talked about men. Yeah, we haven't talked about men.
You're welcome to men on this one.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because men do business as well.
Yes,
okay? And so business credit is for everyone. It's not just for women, even though we're talking about women.
Yeah, we are
okay?
talking about women.
Right.
Yes, we are. Sorry, Edward, you are the minority in this room. Yes, we're talking about men.
I'm the odd one out here.
Yes,
Right.
Chef Tobias Cooks, Women in Business. Visit me on my Facebook page, Chef Tobias Cooks, on my Instagram page, Chef Tobias Cooks, on my YouTube page, Chef Tobias Cooks. Check us out next week. We have another exciting show talking about women and business. This is going to be a really good show. I'm really excited about. Enjoy your week. Again, thank you.
Thank you. And everyone, you guys have a beautiful day and week.
All right.
Okay.
The voice of Stockton.org. Get on, like, subscribe, donate, and support. Thank you so much.
Shabba-dee-da-doo-da-da-da-da. Shabba-da-dee-da-da-da-da. Sa-da-la-da-dee-da.